Hello guys, this is Snek here, and today we're gonna review Warrior and Garde, Volume 1 of the Warrior Trilogy by Michael Stackpole. Michael Stackpole is an American author, and he's a sci-fi author, and he made books, novels and articles about Star Wars, Battletech, and he helped make some role-playing games for various gaming companies. And is the first book of a trilogy named the Warrior Trilogy, and it's set in the universe of Battletech. I got interested in the Battletech universe because I was playing the Shadowrun games from Hardbrain Studio, and since I liked some of the Shadowrun novels, I thought I could give Battletech a try since Hardbrain Schemes is making a Battletech game. And I got interested, I picked up this trilogy because I heard very good things about it, so here we are. So what is Battletech? Battletech is a wargaming and military science fiction franchise, as Wikipedia teaches us, and it exists since 1984. The universe of the game is your typical sci-fi setting, so humanity has colonized other planets, has gone exploring space, you have faster than light travel, you got this very expanded universe. The cool thing about this universe, as in Warhammer, is that humanity had a dark age of technology, so humanity has reverted to a more primitive state of politics and technology, as said. So you have kings, princes, and republics all around the universe. They control different sectors of space, different planets, and they scheme, plot, and fight against each other. And they're a bit stereotyped, but you have to remember that the Battletech universe is mainly made for games, so some stereotypization helps in characterizing some aspect of those factions. So the plot of the books is fairly linear, and it's a bit reminiscent of what Martin does with the Game of Thrones series. Stackpole jumps from the point of view of different characters throughout the book, but since the characters are not as many as in Game of Thrones, the story stays a lot more linear. Also, a big difference between Stackpole and Martin is that Stackpole actually keeps the timeline linear, so you don't get lost while reading, which is always a good thing. The writing style is simple, straightforward. You can have some problems sometimes maybe reading it if you're not very familiar with some military jargon, because some characters do use it. And of course you get much more of the book if you actually have some pre-existing knowledge of the Battletech universe. I didn't, and I struggled at first, but you can grasp it from the context of the book pretty easily what's going on without knowing too much beforehand. The fight scenes in this book, which are I think one of its major selling points, are incredible. You can see those big hulking machines, those mechs, because the point of the Battletech universe and of this book is that you have warriors, mech warriors, that pilot these hulking robots armed to the teeth with missiles, particle beams, all you can imagine, and they fight the shit out of each other. From small conflict to wider skirmishes, those descriptions are really well made. You can really see those monsters destroying each other and armor going off, pieces of torn ceramics flying all over the place, missiles exploding, boom, bam, and it's really nice, and it makes for a compelling read. Although one of the things I enjoyed really much about this book is that some dialogues, some parts of the book in which you can see the scheming, the plotting of the characters comes out really strong, and you're left wondering if the author wanted to take a more cinematic approach to the book by putting in loads of fighting scenes, or if he preferred to make something more brainy and convoluted by inserting those scheming, those plotting scenes in which the motives and passions of the characters come out. You know, he did a very well job in balancing those two out, and I really liked it. So big props for doing that. A couple of things I didn't really like about the book is that even if the characters are really well made and you can understand them pretty easily, they come out as real, believable and strong, sometimes they do almost out of the blue. They come out with things that you wouldn't expect from them, and you can see that the author sometimes uses some plot devices to keep the story going and flowing. And the story itself sometimes has those little, or even big, deus ex machinas, which kind of help him explain some things or keep the action going. and it's understandable, of course, but maybe if he was given much more space to work with, he wouldn't have done it, or maybe he would have. I don't know. I was left, a bit confused by it, because he was doing such a great job and you're really immersed in the book, and sometimes you got these cheesy bits out of it and it's like, whatever. The book has this very nostalgic and retro feeling to it, because I'm reading in 2017, so all the technology in the book is mechanical, is analogic. You see those pilots controlling these big machines with joysticks, with video feeds, and it's a feature you see in many other science fiction books written in the early 90s or in the early 2000s. Nowadays we are much more familiar with some really advanced technology in books and media. We have virtual reality, augmented reality, we have weird neural connections, nanobots, all that jazz, which is not present in this game. And it makes for a very compelling setting, because it's, as I said, a bit nostalgic, and I personally like it. I don't think it's a thing for everyone, but I personally enjoy it very much. And again, one of the main features that I enjoyed in the book is that you have this plotting and this scheming between those powers controlling those sectors of the universe. And it's very reminiscent of Dune, the series by Frank Herbert, in which you see those rulers in space and they control and fight for power, basically. So, yeah, overall, this was a very fun read. Not a very complex book, not, of course, a masterpiece, but a solid book, a solid story. So, in my opinion, a solid 7.5 out of 10, I guess. Yeah, and that's all. Thank you very much for watching.